Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Star Flames, and we are back baby with another banging video because Sean Diddy Combs is a singing icon behind bars. He's been locked up and they will not let him out exactly as he deserves. Let's talk about it because Sean Diddy Combs thought that he was pulling a fast one by having Gina Hung writing that letter to the judge, asking the judge to release Sean Diddy Combs. I don't know why it is that Diddy thinks he's the smartest crayon, like he's the brightest crayon in the box, when that's literally not the case. If anything, what Diddy did was to basically prove to the judge that he's accustomed to having his way and he's not accustomed to taking no for an answer. Exactly as I told you guys. And I've been calling it, back to back. I've been calling it. I've been telling you guys that ain't no way Diddy is going to get out on bail. And when we did that video on Gina writing the letter to the judge, I said, ain't no way the judge is going to give Sean Diddy Combs bail. If anything, this is going to be the reason why he gets denied bail. Because how is it that this girl went from going to Tashke, and just detailing graphic, horrific experiences with you. And then she was supposed to be victim number 3. And then all of a sudden, like within weeks, in less than 6 months, she goes from being victim number 3 to being your character witness. Like, how does that even make sense? I don't know if Diddy doesn't realize that the court system understands street play. They understand bribe when they see it. They understand threats when it's there. They understand intimidation tactics. So Diddy was like, you're on Alyssa. I'm a good man. Even Gina sees it and the judge was like, nope, because you're still unable to prove that you're not a threat to the community. Do you know what? Like, do you understand what the judge is saying to Diddy? Judge Aaron Subramania is saying to Diddy, if anything, everything you've done has demonstrated that you are indeed a threat to your community and to society, because who goes from having victim number 3 to being victim number 3, their character witness? Like, how does that even make sense? So Diddy is realizing that he's not the brightest crayon in the box, and Judge Aaron understands game when he sees game, like these mind control games, these manipulative tactics that Diddy carries on with. Now, we're going to dive into this report with you guys so as to give you guys some more information on what is going on. Now, so this has been reported via multiple reports. The court document is there with a letter. I'm going to include it, so if you want to pause it and read it, you guys can. So basically they're saying Sean Diddy Combs isn't going anywhere, at least for now. He was again hoping for a taste of freedom, but the judge in his criminal case just denied bail for a second time, pending his upcoming sentencing. No, they're talking about bail after his conviction, because we know that he was denied bail and appeal 6 other times. That's before his conviction. So they're talking about the 2 times is after his conviction, okay? Now, also what they're saying is that Judge Aaron Subramania ruled Monday against granting Diddy bail, siding with federal prosecutors and keeping Diddy locked up at the MDC Brooklyn as he awaits his October 3rd sentencing for his conviction on a couple minute charges. In his order, the judge said there were no exceptional reasons warranting a release before his sentence. As we first reported, Diddy filed a new motion for bail last week with his legal team arguing he is probably the only man in America behind bars for hiring and transporting male sex workers across the lines to bang his girlfriend. His defense says there's no binding precedent for keeping him in jail before sentencing, but the judge disagreed, saying Diddy's attorney might have a point about the Mann Act, except for the fact his case also involved evidence of violence, coercion, or subjugation in connection with the acts of prostitution. And that is what is basically crippling any opportunity that he could have gotten towards getting bail, because even though he has been found guilty on similar crimes as other convicted criminals who have been let out on bail on similar charges, with Sean Diddy Combs, he has a history of violence, even though he wasn't found guilty on racketeering. When you remember everyone who stepped on that stand, detailing, witnessing Diddy's aggressive behavior, Cassie Ventura's parents experiences aggressive behavior. Because if you're going to basically say to someone, you're going to have to pay me $30,000 to all the money that I've spent on your daughter, or else I'm going to release the tape, that's basically him, portraying his power, abusing his power. He's using it to basically intimidate Cassie Ventura's family. So as such, right through this trial, everyone who has taken the stand, even those like his drug mule, they basically have detailed Sean Diddy comes to be an aggressor. And as such, when you are an aggressor, when you're full of mind control, manipulative tactics, and that's where the coercion comes in, subjugation, that's where all of that comes in. The court remembers the things that led him to be found guilty on the Mann Act. So it's not just the Mann Act because while there are other individuals, who have been found guilty on the same charge, those individual cases could have been different, wherein it was just prostitution, no one was bullied, harassed, beaten up, or anything like that, no STD, it was just people, working for their money and a group of people working towards a common goal. While with Sean Diddy Combs' case, this situation, it's very different. Diddy was the controller who basically tried to wipe his hands clean at all times. So the manner in which everyone had to do his bidding, and then he is going to argue with the court and say, but I didn't pay any of these male workers. I didn't book their flights. I didn't arrange any of these sessions myself, but you are at the top. You didn't have to do it yourself because you had the money to do it. You had the power to do it. And you were a bully. You were an aggressor. You basically led people through tactics of fear and violence. So as such, you don't have to do it when you have been driving fear and violence into people. And this is what he thinks. He thinks that the court is not looking at the ingredients that was put in this cake, which means that it's every little action that came out during trial is what the judge used to come to the decision. It's not just the charge. It's just everything that was included, the evidence, the video footage of how he put hands and feet on Cassie Ventura. That is not going to be taken out of the equation. The judge knows that if you were doing that at that time, and even afterwards you were still doing that, then what is going to happen now that your back is against the wall and you're going to go down, you're going to go behind bars, you will lose power, control, authority, and you don't like to be in a position where you're not in control. It means that you will do anything once you are let out on bail, because if you are behind bars and you're able to convince victim number 3 to be a character witness on your behalf, what strings did you pull? What method did you use to get Gina to that point? So he has proven that he cannot be trusted. He has proven that he is a danger to society and his community. He hasn't been able to demonstrate otherwise. Now, also, what they're saying is that the judge also addressed the defense concerns about conditions at MDC Brooklyn, where Diddy is being held. The judge said jail staff has been able to keep Diddy safe, even during an incident of threatened violence from an inmate. He's safe so far. These people that are out here, they don't have anyone to keep them safe, So he needs to take that into consideration. But is he? No, he's not gonna. No. Further reports is that the Bad Boy founder proposed a bail package with a $50 million bond and said he would chill at his Miami home and limit his travel to Florida and New York if granted, but the judge isn't having it. While the 50 mil didn't sway the judge as far as releasing Diddy on bail, he warned this ruling will have no impact on his decision about sentencing on October 3rd, which he points out is just in 60 days. Now all eyes are on President Trump because we've been told Trump is more than open to pardoning Diddy at PUTUS. I'd been waiting to see what the judge did with Diddy's latest bail petition. Well, as you guys know, Trump basically said that he's not going to pardon him. Trump has definitely changed his mind because Trump has seen some clips where Diddy hasn't been so kind with his words towards the president, Trump. And Trump doesn't like when anyone speaks bad about him. He, in fact, sees you as an enemy. So Diddy is officially an enemy. And he's saddened. He's like, I thought we were friends, but evidently we're not friends because I get to see what he said about me. So Diddy is going to remain behind bars until his sentencing. It's going to be really sad though. If he gets 4 years, it's going to be really sad. I think he needs to get more than 4 years behind bars, honestly, at this point. When you look at everything that this man has demonstrated, the behavior that he has been demonstrated behind bars, if he gets out, it's going to be a very scary situation for everyone who spoke against him. So I think he definitely is where he deserves to be. And I mean, it's just a pity that they could not find him guilty on the other charges that were brought forward to the court against him. It's just so, sad. That is unfortunate. But anywho, guys, it is your time to chime in. Let me know what's your take on Sean Diddy Combs being denied bail once again. While you're at it, do all you need to do on this video to support your girl. Peace.